Okay, I want to talk a little bit about some of the conversations and web history that you found on the defendant's phone. You know if Kate and Tracy ever had conversations that you found?
Yes, they did.
I'd like to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 108. Okay. Do you recognize what this is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is communication between Katherine Restelli and Tracey Grist. This appears to be taken off of Katherine Restelli's phone.
Okay, and do you know what date it is from?
It appears to be from May 22nd, 2024.
Okay, State would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 108.
Thank you. No objection noted.
Okay, if I could have you scroll down a little bit. Okay, what is the first text that she says? And who's it from?
So on May 22nd at 8:14 a.m., Katherine sends Tracy a text saying, "Awesome seats."
We can scroll down, next one.
Sorry.
If you could just keep reading some of those texts.
Okay. So this text was sent on May 22nd, a little later in the day at about 2:37 p.m. Again from Katherine to Tracy, and Katherine says, "I hate my life, Mom."
Okay. And then if I could have you, read the next text.
Katherine shortly after also texts, "I hate that I have kids with Matt."
If we could screen down, or the next page on page 3, could you read the text at 3:58 p.m.? Page 3.
So at 3:58 p.m., Katherine texts Tracy, "This is so bad right now. I hate him so much."
And if you could turn to page 5. You start at the top and read the time and the date.
So this will be May 23rd, 2024, at 6:11 a.m. Tracy texts Katherine, "All ready to board. I am early and all set."
And can you read the next two text messages?
Katherine responds, same date, at 7:43 a.m. Yay.
The next one.
The next text was also sent the same day, a couple hours later, from Katherine to Tracy saying, "Matt redacted all he said about you not being able to stay here. You're more than welcome here."
And then the next text at the bottom of the page.
Tracy responds, "Okay."
And on the next page, on page 6, if you can read those last two texts.
Tracy also texts, "I'm glad. I wanted to be able to see your babies and hang out and see you."
If I could show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 109. Oh, real quick, on that last one, what were you able to determine about where Tracy was based on those texts?
So based off of those text conversations, it appeared that Tracy was boarding a plane. Based off the conversation, it sounded like she was going to at least visit Katherine.
Do you recognize what Exhibit 109 is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is going to be the web history pulled from Tracey Grist's phone.
Okay, and is this the whole search history that you found on the phone?
I believe this document is the entirety of the search history found on Tracy's phone.
The state would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 109.
Any objection? No, Your Honor. So order.
And when it publishes... if you could take me to page 43. Is this part of the search history?
Yes, it is.
And what's the farthest back date that you have search history for?
The furthest back date would be February 11th, 2024.
Okay. And now I'd like to show you page 21. And so after the previous texts, which were on, when were the last texts? If we could go back to page, or to exhibit 108.
I believe they were, oh, sorry.
Do you recall what the last text message in time was?
So the last text messages was sent on May 23rd, 2024 at 9:46 a.m.
Okay, if we go back to the search history on page 43, what, if anything, did you notice that the defendant searched at 12:10 p.m.?
At 12:10 p.m. on May 23rd,
Sorry. Excuse me, Judge. What's the page? You drop down to the page number.
On the actual exhibit,
Yeah, there's a page number right.
21.
So, can you... Thank you.
Could you read numbers 28 and 20, 287, 288 and 287?
Thank you.
Yes, so the entry listed as 288 was searched on May 23rd, 2024 at 12:10 p.m. It was a Google search asking what scent, I believe that's supposed to be scent, SCEBT, attracts mountain lions.
And what was the next search she did?
So the next search was the same date, 1 minute later. It is what scent attracts mountain lions to humans.
And I'd like to show you what's marked as exhibit 110. Do you recognize what this is?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
So this is cell phone communication between Tracey Grist and Katherine and Tracy, and it was pulled from Miss Grist's cell phone.
And what was the date on it?
So this is from May 30th, 2024.
State would move to admit State's Exhibit 110.
Any objection?
No, Your
Move to publish.
So ordered, thank you.
And if I could have you read these text conversations.
So the first text is sent on May 30th, 2024 at 7:08 a.m. This is from Tracy to Katherine. She says, "At airport now, boarding in an hour."
And what does Katherine say?
Katherine responds a few minutes later, "I feel like it was a good trip, all things considered."
And what does Tracy say on the next page?
Tracy responds, "Me too."
Does this confirm that Tracy had been to California and spent time there?
It does appear that way, yes.
I'd like to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 111. Do you recognize what this is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is cell phone communication between Miss Grist and her daughter, Terrelyn Fisher.
State would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 111.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And if I could go ahead and have you read all of those texts.
Yes, so on June 4th, 2024, Tracy texts Terrelyn, "Can you talk?" Terrelyn responds in a few. Tracy responds, "K, call whenever." Tracy also responds with, I am so mad at Matt. So mad."
Okay, and if I could show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 112. I could have you, do you recognize what this is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is cell phone communication between Katherine Restelli and Tracey Grist, pulled from Katherine's cell phone.
And what date?
This will be on June 5th, 2024.
So is this the next day after the last text?
Yes, that's correct.
The last exhibit, apologize.
The last exhibit, yes.
State would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 112.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
So ordered.
I just have you read the first two texts.
Okay, so Katherine texts Tracy, Matt is a piece of shit. He swears that you said stuff about the camper. And Tracy responds, he is lying.
And I can show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 113. Recognize what that is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is cell phone communication between Rachel, whose current last name is Jorgensson. On the document, it's listed as Trujillo, but it's between her and Tracey Grist.
And what date?
This will be on June 6th, 2024.
And is it fairly and accurately represent, or does this evidence come from the cell phones?
Yes, this comes from Rachel Jorgensson's cell phone.
State would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 113.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
So ordered.
I could just have you read the second message on page 1.
So the second message is sent from Tracy to Rachel that says, I'll call later and talk.
And the next page, if you read the next 3 messages.
So Rachel responds, that's okay, sounds good. Tracy then says, plus, that made it so I want to kill him. When Katie asked about whatever I had said about her being in the camper too much, which I never said anything, he straight up lied. I'm gonna kill him.
And then what does Rachel say?
Rachel responds with, I remember you telling me about that.
And now I'd like to turn your attention back to Tracy's web history. If we could go to page 20 of Exhibit 109. And starting on June 2nd, if we could start with, if you could start with 272. What is the defendant's search?
So on June 2nd, around 4:40 p.m., Ms. Grist searches Wendy Adelson photos.
And do you know who Wendy Adelson is?
I do now, yes.
At the time, did you know who Wendy Adelson was?
No, I did not.
And who is Wendy Adelson?
Wendy Adelson was the wife of Dan Markel.
And who's Dan Markel?
Dan Markel is a individual who was murdered in his driveway in Florida.
Okay, if I could, do you know when Tracy or the defendant first searched anything to do with the Adelsons?
Off the top of my head, I don't recall the first search.
If I could take you to page 42. Do you see anything about the Adelsons on February 15th, 2024?
Yes, so February 15th, 2024, 7:09 a.m., Tracy searches, when is Donald Adelson's next hearing?
And who is Donna Adelson?
Donald Adelson is Wendy Adelson's mother, who would then be Dan Markel's mother-in-law.
And what happened to Donna Adelson?
Donald Adelson was arrested for involvement in Dan Markel's murder.
Specifically, what was she accused of doing?
She was accused of conspiring with her son Charlie to hire a hitman to murder Mr. Markel.
This is still 109. It's just page 42. I'd like to turn your attention to page 39 of Exhibit 109. Is this the next time that the defendant searches anything to do with the Adelsons?
From that February 15th date, yes, it is.
And what does she search?
So on February 24th, she searched at 9:08 a.m. She searches Dan and Wendy Markel wedding.
And then when is the next time that you were aware that she searches the Adelsons?
I honestly don't recall. She searched the Adelsons numerous times.
Okay, if we could go back to the June 2nd, page 20. And if we could go up page to page 19. Does she continue to search the Adelsons there?
On June 2nd, yes, she does.
And if I could have you read 257, what date and time does she search and what does she search?
So on June 2nd at 5:28 p.m., Ms. Grist searches Dan Markel murder books. I believe murder is misspelled there, though.
Okay, and if you could scroll up to the top. What does she search on June 3rd, 2024 at 8:17 a.m.? 253.
On June 3rd, 2024, 8:17 a.m., Ms. Grist searched grind morphine pill.
If you continue to go up. And up again. And up again. What does she search on line 232, 231, and 230? Who does she search?
So she searches for Katherine Magbanawa.
Who's Katherine McBanowa?
Katherine Magbanawa was also arrested for involvement in Dan Markel's murder.
And if we could keep going up. If I could have you read, this is the next day on June 6th, is that correct? If I could have you read on June 6th at 9:10 p.m., what does she search?
So on June 6th at 9:10 p.m., she searches Katie Magbanawa second trial defense charts.
And the next day on June 7th at 9:17 a.m., what does she search?
She searches how old were Dan Markel's kids when Dan was killed.
Can you tell me a little bit more about what happened with Dan Markel and Wendy Adelson?
So Dan Markel and Wendy Adelson had a divorce and were in the midst of a custody battle for their 2 children.
I'd like to turn your attention to State's Exhibit 25.
25?
Sorry. No, yes, 25. We just showed State's Exhibit 25. Okay, on June 25th, what does Katherine text her mom? If we go down to the green.
So on June 15th, 2024, Katherine texts Tracy, Diane just said we probably shouldn't go to Vegas.
And were you able to get call log information from Tracy's phone?
Yes, I was.
I'd like to show you this marked as State's Exhibit 114. Do you recognize what that is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is going to be a call log history from Tracey Grist's cell phone.
From what day?
So this will be on June 16th.
Is it the day after Diane canceled the Vegas trip?
Yes,
Or at least that Katherine told Tracy that she canceled the Vegas trip?
correct.
State would move to omit and publish State's Exhibit 114.
Any objection? No objection. Thank you, so ordered.
And if we could go to the bottom of the page, or the next, bottom of the next few pages. Farther down, please. next page down. Okay, on June 16th, who was the first person that the defendant calls?
So on June 16th at 9:19 a.m., she calls Terrell Fisher.
Okay, is that number, were you able to confirm that that number is Terrell Fisher's number?
Yes, I was.
And how long did they talk for?
They talked for 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 28 seconds.
Okay, and now I'd like to take you back to the Exhibit 109, page 16. What does the defendant search at 10:18 a.m. on June 16, 2024?
At 10:18 a.m., she searches Utah gun law registration.
And what does she search after that?
Utah gun law registration.
And after that?
Utah shot break-in.
And so on these, what does the Google search mean?
So if it has Google search next to it, that means that is what she's searching on Google.
And if it doesn't say Google search, what does that mean?
To my understanding, it is a website that she has visited.
Okay. If I could turn your page to page 115 on Exhibit 109. Yeah,
15 of 109.
yeah, and go to the bottom. Is this in the same set of searches, starting with, or the same web history, starting with 210? What time is she's still searching?
Oh, item line 210, not 210 p.m.
The item 210. What time is she searching still?
Correct. So that is still June 16th at 10:21 a.m.
Okay. And the one above? Or what is she searching?
So in the previous one, she searched one dead, one hospitalized in Layton shooting. On the next search, it was the same date at 10:30 a.m. She searches Utah state gun laws and regulations explained.
Okay. And then what does she search at 2:36 p.m.?
At 2:36 p.m., she searches to file for divorce if wife is a Utah resident and husband is a CA resident or California resident.
And above that?
At 2:37 p.m. on the 16th, she searches to file for divorce if wife is a Utah resident and husband is a California resident.
And 203, what does she search? Number 203.
Line number 203, so that's at 2:38 p.m. She searches how TI, which I assume should be 2, establish Utah residency.
Okay, if we could go back to the phone log on page 1, on Exhibit 114. So, how long was she on the phone with Terrell for?
She was on the phone with Terrell for 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 28 seconds.
Do you know what time that she would have gotten off the phone with Terrell on that?
So hour and a half from 9:19 would be about 10:50 a.m.
Okay. And if you could go up to the next page, page 3, in the bottom. Who's the next person that the defendant calls?
So on the 16th, her next call is to Costco credit card.
Okay, how many times does she call Costco credit card?
It appears twice.
And now I'd like to show you what's marked as State's Exhibit 115. Do you recognize what this is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is the text message communication between Rachel Jorgensson and Tracey Grist. And this was pulled from Rachel Jorgensson's cell phone.
And what day?
So this would be June 16th.
State would, what?
115.
State would move to admit and publish State's Exhibit 115.
Any objection? No objection. Thank you.
I could scroll down a little bit. Okay, at 12:49 p.m. on June 16th, what does Rachel say?
Rachel texts Tracy, dying to know more about everything, dude.
If you could read the next one.
Tracy responds, I'll call in 10.
And what does she say in the next one?
We have a plan for Rory too.
And I'd like to show you what Smarts Exhibit states Exhibit 116. And you recognize what this is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
So this is cell phone communication between Tracey Grist and Caitlin Johnson, and this was taken from Miss Grist's cell phone.
And who's Caitlin Johnson? Were you able to determine who Caitlin Johnson was?
Yes, I was. So Caitlin Johnson is the daughter of Amy McQuillan.
Okay, were you able to determine if she lived in Utah or not?
I was. She did not live in Utah.
Statement moved to admit and publish States Exhibit 116.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
So ordered.
And can you read the top message?
Yeah, so on June 16th at 1:56 p.m., Tracy texts Caitlin, hey, Rory was thinking of driving up to Seattle for a road trip, just her. Could she stop and say hi to you? It wouldn't be for a few weeks. She was just making a plan.
Okay, and how soon in time was this to the previous text with Rachel about making the plan for Rory too?
That was on the same day.
How many minutes, or is there different? If I could refresh your recollection, or could we just turn back to Exhibit 115? What time was that text sent?
So this text was sent at 1:58 p.m.
And if I could turn back to 116, what time was that text message sent?
At 1:56 p.m.
Now I'd like to turn your attention to, I'd like to show you what's marked as States Exhibit 117. Do you recognize what this is?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
This is communication between Tracey Grist and Matt Restelli. This was taken from Miss Grist's cell phone.
And what day does it start?
So this starts on June 20th, 2024.
State was moved to admit States Exhibit 117 and moved to publish.
No objection.
Right, thank you, sir.
This is a little bit longer, but if I could just have you read all of these texts, maybe start with the first one with the time, and if there's a big gap in time, if you could restate the date and the time. Otherwise, just read the conversation through.
Okay. So June 20th, 2024 at 8:52 p.m. Matthew texts Miss Grist, this is Matt Restelli. I need a call back regarding a serious matter. Shortly after, he texts, you're wrong for convincing Kate to leave the state. This is a few hours later now at 11:28 p.m. Matt texts Tracy, this is Matt Restelli. I need a call back regarding a serious matter. A couple minutes later, Matt texts Tracy, is this Tracy? At 11:35 on the same day, it appears that there was a phone call. This appears to be like a voice-to-text type text message. And this is from Matt to Tracy. And the text reads, hey Tracy, this is Matt Restelli. Can you call me back regarding all of this stuff? Anyways, 951-852-3089. Thanks. So 11:51 p.m. on the same date, a couple minutes later, Matt texts Tracy, did my family make it there? Seconds later, he texts again, how dare you not reply? Kate abducted my kids to Utah without my permission. And you all ghosted me. So this is continuing the conversation into early the next morning, June 21st, 2024 at 12:05 a.m. Matt texts, did Kate, Cheyenne, and Still make it to Utah? Shortly after, he texts again, it is sad that you both are so heartless that you can't even reply to me. Sorry, that you can't even reply to tell me my family made it to your house safely. At 12:30 a.m., he texts, is Tracy not replying to my family's safety? Did they make it there? About 10 minutes later, he texts, you missed lots of calls. I missed one from you. Are my kids safe? Shortly after, Matt texts Tracy, how dare you play this game? Did my kids make it to your house? A couple minutes later, safe, yes or no? It's a simple question.
If I stop you there, are these messages, will they show if they've been read or not?
Yes, they will.
And is that what the other time and date stamp is?
That is correct.
Okay, continue, I apologize.
So Matt texts Tracy. So this is still June 21st. This is now 12:50 a.m. He says, you infected Kate with the need to leave California. Why don't you just live your life and stay out of others and not tamper? This is not okay by any means. How dare you convince her to leave and take kids? I will not forget your involvement in this. A couple minutes later, Matt texts again. You're so mean to think I don't deserve to know my kids made it to your house safely tonight. So June 21st at 1:01 a.m., Tracy responds to Matt. Katie and the kiddos are here safe and sound. Matt replies to that with, enjoy your short time with them. You will not be welcome in our house again. Tracy responds, I knew she was driving and I fell asleep, so I was sleeping. They just pulled in. So this is the same date, a couple hours later at 3:07 a.m. Matt texts Tracy, again, you will not be welcome in this empty house. I told you to back off. How dare you lure her to take the kids and split out of state? What crap, tampering with my kids and their future.
Yeah, approach your own. Yes, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're going to take a recess.